Hello everyone, it's me, the Medium Tank Enjoyer, and today we're back with a very special tier list. In honor of the new update that just came out for Battle Nations, we now have the Infected as a playable faction. That's right. We got a bunch of infected encounters on your bases, getting black nanopods and whatnot. And to celebrate, I thought I'd do my Infected tier list. Alright, I got every infected here that's possible to get, even the ones from the boss strikes down here at the bottom. And again, we're going to have to go based on memory here because, we do not have access to the bottom row of infected units yet. But you just know that they're good, right? we all remember that they're good. So we'll be going over the stats here to compare. And we're going to rank them based on usability and also a little bit of my own preference. Some of these designs look a lot better than others. Some of them are really cool. We're going to go mostly based on usability here, though, because we really want to be objective, as objective as possible. And I'll have one exception here. And we'll see it when we get to it. Another rule here is we're not going to rank the proto, the regular, or the advanced versions of any of these because they're trash. They're not worth using ever, and it's really just a waste of SP to rank them up because these arc. We're only going to rank the arc versions because they're just the best. They're the best use of SP. It's a waste of time to rank up anything higher, lower than that, and it's because their stats are just pure downgrades, and you never want to run into a situation like that where you're using a pure downgrade for no reason. You certainly don't want to be wasting resources to level those up. I would recommend staying away from them. Only farm for archetypes if you're going to do anything at all, right? So we got 4 tiers here. We got S tier, the residents are evil. We got A tier, the hills are silent. We got B, Shaun of the Dead tier. And we've got F tier, which is B movie slop. And if you guys get any of the references here, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. I tried to make it thematic. And yeah, let's get right into it. Since there's so few of these units, I am going to be going a little bit in depth with each one, except for the first one, and you'll see why. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. So, first things first, the Creeper. He's the iconic zombie, right? He's the iconic guy. You see him in every movie, he's in every video game. But in Battle Nations, he's just not going to cut it. He has very low health. He does very low damage. He can only be used in the front row because his attack only has range 1. And he's just all around. Even the archetype version is just very, very weak. He's not really what you expect from a unit that you're spending black nanopods on. You pretty much never want to roll this guy in the gamble. And yeah, he's going to go into B-movie slop. He's just not good. And he has no real niche use, which is very sad. But anyway, moving on to the Cannoneer. He's interesting because he actually does do some pretty good damage. Let's go take a look at him. The Archetype Cannoneer. And he's got the same defense as every single infected, which is 120% base. Fire resist, which is bad. He's going to take more damage from fire, but all of these take more damage from fire, so that's just... We're ranking them amongst each other, right? We're not ranking them amongst the rest of the cast. So, you just have to keep that in mind. So, he has a really good crit chance here. 45% versus tanks. That's what you're going to want to be using him against, and... he does do an average of 218 per shot at rank 6, and his crit versus tanks means that pretty much every other shot he's going to be doing double this, 400, which is not bad. 400 damage at rank 6 on every other shot with 60% armor piercing is not bad. Only 1 to 2 range is what kills it, I think, because you can only put it in the second row and shoot the first row. But 400 damage isn't anything to scoff at, right? That's what like a rank 3 tank killer does, except... I believe this has unlimited ammo, unlike the tank killer, right? Oh no, it's got 3 ammo. But you're never gonna... 3 ammo is plenty, to be honest. So like if you average the damage that he's gonna be doing over his 3 ammo, he's going to be doing a lot more damage than a tank killer, and you get to spread it around a little bit better. So honestly, not bad. He has a good bit of health, 375. Not bad. He's actually like decent, I would say. Nothing standout though, which is why for that reason he's going to go into Shaun of the Dead tier. But nothing bad at all. Nothing bad at all. Next is going to be the Bullfrog. So let's talk about the Bullfrog, right? He is a controversial pick because if we go look at the archetype Bullfrog here, he's very, how would you say? He's very underwhelming. So at rank 6, he's going to be doing 83 damage with his spit. And he only hits the back 2 rows, which means you can only put him in the back row or the second row. And only hit the back or the second row of the opponent. Huge suppression. You're pretty much guaranteeing suppression here. 50% armor piercing. That's not bad. Fire damage type, which is okay. 100% chance to cause poison. But here's the problem, right? He's just too weak for what he does here. You're getting 83 damage on the spit, and then you're getting 83 damage on the DOT immediately. So 160 about. And that's not really going to cut it. Yes, it's cool that it does a lot of this spewing arc damage here. I like the attack pattern. And as much as I love this guy's design, it's just really underwhelming damage, especially on this weak cough. This weak cough is absolutely atrocious. At rank 6, the strongest this will ever be, you're going to be doing 80 damage with the DOT included. And that's just not really my thing. It's so sad that this design is so good, but the actual unit is very weak. And so I'm going to put it in Shaun of the Dead tier, but I love the design of this unit. He's got the lime green helmet. He's got the Bullfrog pouch here to hold his acid. I wish it was buffed. I wish the DOT was either 3 rounds so that it would actually do something, or the initial damage was juiced up or something like that. You know what I mean? Or maybe if the arcing areas were a higher portion of the damage, like instead of falling off from 83 to 33, it fell off to like 83 to 63 and then to 33. That would actually be pretty good. Just a couple of ideas, right? Because then you could use it as like crowd control. But as of right now, it's just very underwhelming, weaker than pretty much every other option at the same time you get it. And that's just, yeah, unfortunately, because it has a cool design. Stalker is, the Stalker is interesting because if we come look at the archetype Stalker, right, he's got a little more health than the Bullfrog, right, and he's got a kind of weird thing. So he's got a crit versus tanks, which is nice, and built-in crit versus tanks on his first shot. You can only use it in the front row, 90% armor pen, and you're doing 188 damage to every single tank in the front row. Chances are one of those is going to crit. So you're doing like 360 damage to the front row, one of them. It's not bad. The only problem is he dies immediately afterwards, right? He doesn't have nearly... He's got some decent dodge. He's got some decent defense, but he's probably dying afterwards. Can't be suppressed because he's a zombie. Not bad other than that, right? Like pretty good. Pretty good. And his second attack is not bad either. It's a backstab, kind of like the Dustwalker, but it hits the entire back row, right? Like if it's 1 to 2 range, but opposite of just a backstab. It has a huge crit versus soldier. It does pretty decent damage to backstab here, but if you'll notice, he does more damage than the Bullfrog, which is meant to be an artillery piece. So like, yeah, he's way better. Yeah, and it hits the whole back row. It doesn't just hit this 3. Like if you go onto the middle row, if you manage to hit the middle row there, it'll hit the entire middle row, right? That's pretty cool. I think for that reason he's got to go higher than the the Bullfrog by himself, right? The hills are silent for him. Colossus is great. He's pretty good. He's just like a slightly weaker wimp, right? Like he's got a lot more health than the wimp. You see what I'm saying here? Like he's got resistances that the wimp doesn't have, right? He's got a bunch of resistances here. He has the same fire weakness that the wimp has, which that makes them the same. And he's pretty good. He's a blocking unit, unlike the wimp. The wimp is not a blocking unit. Keep that in mind. So that's pretty cool, right? Pretty decent damage at rank 6, 226, 226, 226. I know the wimp does more. I know he does more, right? But you're not really using this as like your main damage dealer. It's more like a tank, right? Whereas you can't really use a wimp as a tank because it doesn't have the blocking keyword and it doesn't have any armor. You can use them as cheap fodder, right? And the wimp is certainly better because of how mass producible it is. But this, you don't have to put any work into it. As soon as you get your Colossus, it's good, right? It's got the 40% stun that the wimp doesn't have, so you can use it as a utility piece, right? To try and stun the tanks in the front, or you can try and stun the backline, right? Like if a wimp would not kill a backline unit, you can use this instead to try and force a stun, and that's better than not killing it and then getting wiped, right? 565 total HP at rank 6, and bravery 500, so it can't be suppressed. So overall, it will have almost double the HP of the combined HP and armor of the wimp. I think the wimp caps out at like 350. And so, like, by no means is he better than the wimp. Absolutely not. But he's definitely good, definitely usable, definitely worthwhile to rank up and get a bunch of these if you can. And I mean, he's gonna be our first the Residents Are Evil tier, I think, because he's just really good, really solid unit. Next, we're gonna go to the Creeper. Sorry, the Crawler, I think, right? Let's go him, the Crawler. And the Crawler's design strikes me. I really do enjoy it. It has more health. It has the same health as the Cannoneer, I believe. It has the same, weakness to fire. And we expect that from everybody at this point. And we can't currently get the Archetype Crawler, but we can get the Advanced Crawler, and it is good. It's got 3 attacks instead of the standard 2 that the other ones have. I mean, it looks like a really cool unit, right? I like it. I like it a lot. He's got a 1-4 contact attack. I actually like this. This is pretty cool. They don't use a bunch of contact attacks that have a long range, so I think that's really unique. Pretty cool. It has an 85% chance to stun for 3 turns. I would love if this said 100% chance, right? Like, that would be great, wouldn't it? I know you guys would all love if it said 100% chance. That being said, it is explosive damage, so that's good. Has high offense, kind of, so it won't miss too much. Crits versus critters and soldiers, which is always appreciated. But yeah, that 100% is the only thing keeping it back for me. Otherwise, this would be like the best. This would be one of the best support pieces in the game if this said 100% stun. Because as it is, it's a little bit of a gamble. But that's okay. I think we can handle that. It's got decent dodge. It's got decent defense. Let's see what the other attacks do, right? Claws, Eviscerate. This is pretty cool. I mean, it does a lot of damage, right? 270. That's not bad for a rank 6 unit. Rank 6 infantry unit. That is primarily, let's not forget, this is primarily a support piece because of the stun, right? So the fact that it has a damaging move at all is pretty good. It does do crushing damage, 50% armor pen, so like not the best, but it's got a decent crit chance against everything, right? Like that's like if you're going up against armor, it's not going to be good, but if you're going up against critters or soldiers, this is actually going to hurt really hard comparatively. And let's see with the jump. Now this is its precise line of fire attack, right? If you want to get the hands dirty here, because the other ones are, I think this one does the most damage, which is pretty wild. Yeah, it does the most damage, 315. Not bad. Still high crit versus soldiers, critters. It's good, right? Like, this is not bad. Remember, this is a support piece, okay? This is not your damage dealer piece. It's there to get the stun off so that you don't have to worry about the opponent's strong unit, right? That's what its whole job is to be. The fact that it has these damage dealing moves is actually quite cool, right? I like it. And for that reason, it's gonna get a fat. The hills are silent from me. I think I'm gonna put it above the Stalker because while they both deal damage, the this boyo right here, he's got a secondary use in that almost guaranteed stun. As a matter of fact, if that was a 100%, he'd probably be an S tier. But yeah, as a support piece, he's great. We're gonna move on to the Hunter now. So Hunter, right? Let's go take a look at his stat sheet. Let's pull him out here. Archetype Hunter. Cool stuff. 415 HP. Not much to to squelch at over here. It is air, right? Right. This makes it the only other air unit that can be trained at all other than the Pelican. And the Pelican is still its niche. It's still got its niche because this thing is random. You can only get this through random chance, like all the infected units with limited resources, right? So it's the only other question mark, right? Like quotation only other air unit that you can get besides the Pelican. But with that being in mind, let's take a look what he can do, right? He can target ground units and air units. It's primarily an anti-air unit, so let's see what it does. It has a crit versus aircraft. It has a crit versus vehicles. This is pretty good. 180 average damage. That's not like super good, but it is indirect. I can see how this would be good versus aircraft because aircraft take more crushing damage than typical. Right? Has a lot of health for an aircraft. It's not bad. It's not bad. This attack, the swoop is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. 68 damage at rank 6 for an archetype is pretty weak. Right? Compare that to what we were just doing over here, which is 180. It's just not, especially since this only targets air. This is a pretty much useless attack. I'm not gonna lie. In combat maneuvers, dive. This one only hits ground. So we're starting to see the limitations here of this unit because the damage is not good. 78 damage at rank 6 is very, very bad. Very bad. This one's really the only one that is worth a damn. Well, I don't know why these other attacks had to be so weak. They could have all done the same damage as the first attack and that would have been fine. Looking at this though, this is very bad. 180 damage. What is that? That's nothing at rank 6, right? Like the Pelican does more damage than this, and you get the Pelican earlier. So I think that's a big. I think that's just bad. I don't think there's any saving this one, to be honest. Now that I've seen the damage that it does, it's not really that good. So we're gonna keep it in Shaun of the Dead tier. I don't think it deserves to be in the same tier as the crawler. The crawler has a huge niche use in being the stun, or the near guaranteed stun that you're gonna want. Let's hit up the shredder now. Oh, now this one I've been waiting to talk about because it's good. It's real good. The archetype shredder. This thing is a beast. Okay. First off, any shredder you get is a direct upgrade to the Battle Raptor. There are no downgrades, which is insanely good. 530 health at rank 6. That's a big boy right there. That is half a mega tank, alright? 530 health. And just look at this. Good defense, good dodge. I mean, all of the zombies have that stat. But let's take a look at the attacks here. So, offense 91. This is never missing, right? It has a really good crit, 20%, and a really good crit versus critter, 35%. 60% armor pen. It does a pretty good job here. Does a pretty good job. Don't know why it has ammo, right? Don't know why it has ammo, but the reload is actually lower than the cooldown, so it doesn't really matter. Now, let's move on to the infected claws. This has no cooldown. This has no cooldown. So you are doing 136 damage with whatever crit modifiers you're applying down here every single turn with no cooldown. You can just spam this over and over and over again. And that's amazing, I think. That's super good. And I love it. It's great. He's got so much health. He's got so much damage potential here. Just a lot, 60% armor pen. Like, you can't complain about that. And no cooldown. You could use him as your only unit if it's down to it. That's great. I think he's going to go into A tier for that. Very good unit. Top of A tier. And that was the last unit we can actually acquire through normal means in the game right now. So these last 5 units are going to be available in the future, and they're going to have to be based on memory, right? And we're going to start first with the Mauler, and it's immediately going into S tier. Let me show you, boys. I'm going to show you something real quick. It's going to make you scream, okay? Look at this attack pattern, all right? Do I need to say any more? You're right, you're right. Maybe I do, okay? Oh, that's pretty cool, right? 50% poison. Pretty strong, right? Look at that, 142 DOT. Indirect fire? This is what the Bullfrog should have been, right? Did I mention 720 health, full blocking, and resistances to everything except fire? That's pretty crazy, right? That's pretty crazy. Except I didn't show you the best part. Oh yeah, that's it right there. And have I convinced you yet? Does anyone need to see more? 75% armor piercing. 1 to 5 range, indirect, and we're hitting the entire board. Yep, this is our boy, right? This is our boy. And for that reason, he's going to stay our boy. Straight to S tier where he belongs. Now, all the Apexes are going to be really, really good. So, Apex Bullfrog, going to show you the stats on that one. We're just going to go... We're going to search these boys up. Apex Bullfrog, only 340 health at max rank, so almost just as weak as the other Bullfrog, right? But they actually fixed him. They fixed him. So they upped his damage on the main spit attack. Okay, they upped his damage. They upped his damage on the weak cough, right? So now we're doing a lot more damage on everything. Then he's got more attacks. Look at that one right there. That's a nice attack right there, okay? 132 damage with 132 DOT in the middle, and then everything else is getting splashed. That's nice. This one, pretty good as well. But really, this attack is the shining C right here. That's good. Real good. I wish the regular Bullfrog had this attack. This is such a good attack. It's going to land it in S tier. Such a good unit. Above the Colossus. Very strong. I wish this is what we could have access to now. Apex Stalker. Let's look at this guy, okay? Another absolute phenom, okay? 380 health, same thing right here. But oh boy, that's a lot of damage. That's going to cleave through tanks. 60% crit versus tanks. That means 2 out of 3 of these in the front row are going to get critted for 440 damage, 90% armor piercing. Okay, did I mention this has 90 defense and 60 dodge? This is dodging a lot of stuff. Okay? By the way, in the original game, the way this worked is that the crit would stack with the crit versus whatever. So this would actually have a 100% crit rate versus versus tanks. That is insane. I wish they would bring that back because I think Z2 intended it that way, and that way this thing would be doing 440 damage to 3 different tanks in the front row. Every single time with 90% armor pen. Think that one taps like a full rank, a max rank heavy tank that just one taps 3 of them which is wild, right? Yeah, and then, its second attack. The Scythe Cleave, Scythe Slash. This thing freezes stuff. 50% to freeze? That's wild. I mean, you guys are seeing the same thing that I'm seeing here, right? Stun? Look, it's got a stun slash. 50% to stun. Come on. It crits artillery tank. This is so good. Fire. This one's just pure damage, right? Like, what are we talking about here? This is great. This is so good. That's such a huge variety of attacks that this is now actually usable as an artillery piece. You've got so much variety. You got freeze, you got stun, and you got fire. And then you got the main damage dealer in the front once it finally gets to the front row. For that flexibility alone, I got to give it the S tier. Right? Next we're going to go Apex Colossus, and let's see what he's all about, okay? Let's take a look at this boyo. Boom. 665 health at max rank. Good resistances, lacking in the fire, but that's all of them. And let's see what he's got. So he's got the same attack as the Colossus, right? Took away the stun chance. Interesting. Next one. Now we've got the stun. Okay. Gotcha. So this one suppresses and the other one stuns. But this one now stuns at 60%. I like that a lot. 60% stun chance is very powerful. And they gave him an extra attack. I actually like this. A nice checkerboard at the front pattern. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, the Colossus was an S tier, so this has to be an S tier. I don't think it's better than the Stalker. Call me crazy, I don't think it's better than the Stalker. I think the Stalker is really, really good. And the Apex Mauler is basically copy-paste of the regular Mauler. It's just that it's a little bit better, and you'll see why. Where is the Apex Mauler? There it is. Okay, so 780 health, which is a little bit more. Slightly better resistances, right? Slightly. Oh yeah, it even says it right here. Plus 60 HP and just slightly better resistances than the regular Mauler. Slightly. Slightly more damage. Slightly more damage. And slightly more damage. It's very, very slight because they already cooked with the regular Mauler, right? Like, you can't make this guy that much stronger without making him absolutely busted. So they gave him the slight buff in all directions, and that's fine. But for that reason, he does have to be the best infected unit, even though you can only get one of him, and you can get unlimited Maulers. Actually, I'm going to factor that in. The unlimited Maulers is really, like, good. You can only get one Mauler. You can get unlimited regular Maulers instead of the Apex Mauler. So I would say the Mauler is the best infected in the entire game. And a lot of them are pretty good. The Apex ones are all pretty good, right? Most of the normal ones are shit. That's just how it works out. And I mean, like, I like them. I like their designs, right? Like the Apex regular Bullfrog is one of my favorite designs in the game, right? It's just so classic. He really does look like a frog. He's got the spines, he's got the pouch here. He's just lacking in the damage department. If he was more in line with the Apex Bullfrog, that would be so much better, and I think that we could really rank him higher if he had that, right? But as of right now, he's just not very useful. So let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, go ahead and comment down below. Tell me what you disagree with, and I'll try and answer you and retort, if I can, with my own reasoning. But for right now, just remember to drop a like down below if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, just remember to keep that tank mentality. And goodbye.